We are recording a meeting for the Southwick Public Library Board of Trustees. It is December 8th at 7 p.m. And we just should remember that all votes should be a roll call, and we should call a roll at the start of the meeting. So if we want to do that, or make a motion to begin, either or.
I make a motion to begin the meeting.
I'll
Tracy,
second.
That was Tracy. I get your name wrong every time. Mexior?
good job.
All right.
And Maria seconded.
That was Maria Gallo.
Yep.
And Suzanne, if you want a roll call.
Suzanne Davis?
And we have Mike McMahon. He is muted, but he is here in spirit, and whenever you want to say something, just unmute yourself. Okay, so we have no public comments. And as for communications, sorry for my paper rustling. We have begun doing the live chat. We've been doing that about 3 times a week now. I run it Monday mornings, Paul runs it Wednesday evenings, and Heather Paparella does it Friday mornings. And usage has been good. You know, I think we've got about 7 or so chats that we've had so far. I think we'll definitely get more as we spread the word about it, but we're off to a good start. It's good to start slow. Everybody's been getting used to the technology. But we're pretty happy with it. And it's just something good to have in place if and when we ever have to close again for whatever reason. So things have been going well with that. We are almost halfway through December, so we're looking ahead to January programming. Our young adult librarian and our children's librarian have been doing a great job of coming up with creative programs that we can do virtually. I've got some good ones coming up for January. We're doing a writing workshop with somebody from a writing group in Westfield. I'm working with another group to hopefully present, and we're going to nail down the dates this week. Just a kind of program for preparing a budget and planning, hopefully to attract some more millennials to our program. I hate saying that word. I hate when people call me that, but that's the age group we're going for, to kind of start off the new year and helping, because Heather Paparella ran a program for teens last month on budgeting, and it was such a good program that I'm going to try to get them to. Your cat is very cuddly, Suzanne.
Yes, she is.
I'm going to try to get them to make it over for adults, because I feel like there's a lot of things in there. When she told me what they talked about, I'm like, this is something that we can really benefit from. I mean, I can't speak for everybody else, but half of this stuff, I feel like, you know, it's always good to get a refresher, or it's new information, you know, credit scores, budgeting, things like that. So I have noticed that a lot of our programs that have to do with like professional development or anything like that, like we did the sign language course, that was extremely popular. So anything, I think people are looking for something to do that's going to kind of benefit them as far as job skills, personal skills, things like that. So yeah, programming has been going good. You know, our virtual numbers are never going to compare to what they were for in-person numbers, but we're trying different things. And I think the response has so far been pretty good. The book boxes especially continue to be an extreme hit. I know this month I have 12 just for adults. I think Heather has a couple for teens, and then there's a couple for kids as well. So that's going really well. And yeah, we are just keeping busy, trying to stay abreast of everything that's going on, and looking forward to starting a new year, although it's not going to be kind of like what we want it to be. we're trying to do new things, keep it fun and interesting. And I've gotten a lot of really good feedback from patrons about how we're doing really well at keeping people connected during this time. And I sent you all, minutes. I every time I skip the minutes. So November minutes, if there are any changes or if anybody wants to make a motion to approve.
Move to approve. Suzanne?
I second, Tracy.
Okay, so November minutes are all set. Oh, Mike, we know Mike joined the call because we hear the squeaky noise. I think we'll be able to hear you if you talk though, so if you had a comment or anything about the minutes.
Oh my God, he sounds like a creature.
Best Zoom meeting I've ever
I'm sorry.
Oh wow. I've never heard a sound like that. And I've seen a lot of strange things on Zoom calls, but I've never seen that before. Okay, so it sounds like the minutes are good to go. And then I sent everybody the report this morning. I mean, numbers are good. It's to be expected for a pandemic. The number that really impressed me was at the very bottom right, where we only started recording curbsides since the middle of September, and so far we have had 700.
What does that mean?
That means
What does it measure?
anytime anybody calls in and wants to pick something up outside. So anytime, and that it's pretty time consuming because you have to take the phone call and then get everything ready to go and get it labeled and get it outside for them. So we wanted to keep track of the number of times that we were doing that, and I think that's a pretty impressive number. I'm extremely happy with that number. As you can see, as the cases have gone up, our circulation has gone down a little bit. Our door count has gone down a little bit. Just because, as the cases go up, people don't come out as much. So that seems to be the trend. I assume that when we finally look at the numbers for December, it'll be going kind of along the same way too. But yeah. So overall very happy with the numbers. Mike, we can't hear you very well. Do you want to put your comment in the chat? You kind of, no offense, but you kind of sound like an alien. There we go. Put your answer, put your comment in the chat and I can read it off.
This will make an interesting recording. How do you?
I know. I know. When they send this in to post it, it's like, it's just, hey, technical difficulties. Mike says, is it the number of people or items? I think what you mean is the numbers going down as far as items circulating. That has been the case. And the door count, the number of people coming into the building has gone down as well. I can't even compare it to last year because the numbers just don't compare. But compared to, I would say, the last month, it has gone down a little bit. But because last month we had about 1,900 and this month we had about 1,200. Oh, and the curbside 700. So that is the number of times that we have actually had to go outside to bring something out. So this could be,
It's cool.
so we could go out one time with 20 books. So yeah. Yep. So that's pretty much the number of times that we've gone out. You could say it's roughly, the number of phone calls or requests or emails we've gotten from patrons. All right. I forget this every time. Do you guys need to vote to approve the report? No. Okay.
We never do. Yeah.
Okie doke. I can't keep anything straight this year. I really cannot. Okay, so old business, COVID-19 response. we have been, I check in with Tammy, the Board of Health Director, every so often, because she often knows about things before I hear about them. She's been good about keeping us up to date. As of the governor's new release today, that we are stepping back to phase 3, step 1. However, the fortunate thing is that that doesn't affect us because they're rolling back to 40% capacity, I believe. And we, with our numbers, even if we filled up the complete number of browsing slots and computer use slots, we wouldn't be at the capacity. We just decided to keep the numbers low at the beginning just to kind of, make staff feel safe and comfortable, and also to control the number of people in the building. So the good news is we don't have to change anything as far as the number of appointments we have. We've never filled up an hour. A lot of people still prefer just to pick up curbside, which is fine. So the good news is that we don't have to go through and rechange our numbers or anything. We can just keep going as we've been going. And I'm glad we decided not to change it because, as they said, you can allow more people in. We just said we're going to keep the numbers the same just to avoid confusion, make it easier on staff. And, we knew that this point was going to come where they were going to have to roll back the numbers. So the good news is we don't have to change anything like that. And old business volunteer gifts. I got a gift bag full of goodies for all of our volunteers, and I think all of them but one so far has been in to pick it up. Everybody's been very appreciative and says thank you, and it was just a nice gesture to give them a little bit of holiday cheer, because I think a lot of them miss working with us very, very much, and we miss them. And it's been sad that we haven't been able to have anybody back yet.
Lynn?
Yep.
What kind of things are in the goodie bags?
Oh, I got them a mug with kind of little bookish things on it, a coloring book, notepad set, and there was something else, but it's slipping my mind right now.
Any kind of gift card or store card or?
No,
Okay.
it would have added up a little bit to be a little bit too much.
That's fine. I'm just
Yeah.
curious. That's all.
Yep. No, and we got the bags themselves were nice, like sturdy library bags with a nice library thing printed on it. So
Okay.
yep.
Nice.
So yeah, and there was a coloring book in there, just kind of something I know that's the new thing. It's actually very relaxing. I thought I was going to hate it, but it's really relaxing. So just a little something for them for the holidays. And our fine free policy update, that has been going just fine. We've been getting, people have been very grateful. We've actually gotten a couple pretty nice donations in our jar at the desk that, if people, we don't charge fines, but if they want to leave us something, they can put something in. We've gotten some nice donations in that. So overall, that's been a pretty positive move. I'm excited about the way it's going. Patrons are appreciative. As far as new business, for state aid, they are anticipating, because of all the questions going around with the state budget, I believe the last thing I heard was that they had a draft to present to Baker. But either way, as far as our state aid, it looks like they are anticipating our first award to be made to us in February, which is a little bit later. Usually they do it, I think it was usually October or November, but it's going to be much later this year. But, and of course that may change, but then that's what we're looking at right now. What the amount will be, I have no idea, but hopefully we will know soon. I'm also working on applying for the LSTA, the Library Services Technology Act, grant for the library. They have a bunch of different categories that you can apply for, and I sent everybody a copy of the one that I was thinking to apply for us. I haven't done one of these yet, but I'm pretty excited to kind of get into it. I think the one that would benefit us the most is going to be the Pathways to Success grant. The grant amount is about 7,500. Program runs about a year. And so the application, I'm going to fill it out in the next couple months, and then it officially begins October 2021, and then would run for a year after that. Yes, Mike says, budget sent to governor to sign, reject, or adjust. Budget is larger than past years. Yes, I've heard surprisingly that certain categories, I know the categories that the Board of Library Commissioners sent to the governor, they're actually higher than they were expecting. So, which is odd. I did not expect that this year, but no complaints. We'll see what happens. As for the grant, I sent everybody the details if you want to read it, if you're interested in it. I think that this could be a good opportunity to really boost our business collection. First of all, I think this particular grant is about pathways to success, so job skills, anything like that. And I think that this could be a really perfect year to fit that in because of everything that people have gone through this year as far as job losses and all the horrible things like that. So I think this grant could tie in with our business collection and really just provide us with some great programming. So I'm going to be working over the next couple of months. I'm roping Paul into it too, to kind of help me out because he has the most connection with the business collection, to get some ideas on what we're thinking of for the grant. I have a couple examples of past grants that people have filled out for this that I'm going to go over, and I will just keep you guys updated. And I mean, hopefully it'll be good. But that's just an update with that. I haven't really delved too deep into it yet, but I'm hoping to get started in depth in January and get that going. Scheduling and staffing. We have, I have been talking with Paul. We met yesterday, and he's thinking it over. What we are going to do is, last time Heather was out on maternity leave. She is going to be going again at the end of February for about 3 months. So for about March to maybe May, we are going to be without one full-time person. And we are down another full-time person in Margot's position. So I've been talking with Paul about whether or not he's interested in working some extra hours to help out. It sounds like he is. Once we nail down a schedule and the number of hours he wants to do, to the select board and, make sure that they're aware and if they need to approve it or anything like that. So the bad news is that, the good news is that we're all very happy and excited for Heather. The bad news is that we're just going to be down 2 positions come the end of February. I have not heard any updates from the town about whether or not we're going to be able to fill Margot's position. With everything going on and the rollbacks right now, I'm not very positive that it's going to be anytime soon. So we are just doing the best we can to go along. Heather's really great. She's getting everything ready to go. So we'll be able to keep things rolling while she's away. Just the downside to this is that she will be away just as we're trying to begin, summer's the busiest time of the year. And as we're trying to plan our summer reading and everything going on with that, we're going to be down a person. And it's expected this year. We've had a couple instances where staff have been able to come into work. It's just the name of the game this year with COVID and everything. So we keep an eye on our minimum staffing. We just try to do the best we can to get by. And Mike, we are submitting a budget for fiscal year 22. I have not gotten anything from the town yet. Usually they'll send me a packet with all the stuff to fill out. I have not seen anything come my way yet. But it should be right around this time. I may check in with Laura in accounting just to see what the timeline is for it, but I haven't heard anything for fiscal year 22 yet. Whether that's good news or bad news, I don't know, but we will see. Other than that, I did send everybody a copy. This was last week, I think, of our fiscal year 22 action plan, which we have to submit every year in addition, it's basically builds on our strategic plan every year. And if we submit the action plan every year, that just basically makes us eligible to apply for certain grants like the LSTA that I just talked about earlier. So this year, honestly, because of last year, we did not meet a lot of our goals, which I try to reassure our staff that it's by no fault of our own. It's the way the year's gone. But the good news is that we did build on a couple things. There's a couple things we can't do, such as connecting with homeschool students to use the community room. Probably not going to happen anytime soon. But we have been able to kind of diversify our program offerings and try new things virtually. So I don't know if anybody has any questions or comments on it, but I sent everybody a copy, and if everything looks good to everyone, I will add a copy to the end of our strategic plan. And then hopefully by the end of next year, we will be able to accomplish a little bit more. But I won't say we didn't accomplish anything. We accomplished different things than what we had intended.
You
But
accomplished a lot, I assure you.
so it's been an interesting year. But did anybody have any questions or comments on it? Anything like that? Looks like a no. Michael in the comments says it looks great. Thank you. And then that was the last thing from me in the new business. I feel like we've blown through this meeting. We are very efficient on Zoom.
Yeah, I'll say it's only 7:25.
I know. I feel like with the pandemic, there should be more to talk about, but it's pretty straightforward. This is what we're doing. This is what we have to do, and
This is what we can, and this is what we can't do.
Call it a day.
Right.
So, I mean, if anybody else has anything to add, or our next meeting is, where's my calendar? January 2nd, Tuesday in January will be January 12th. Just a heads up for everyone, I will be taking a couple days off before the Christmas holiday because I need a break. I need a break.
Exactly.
So, but Heather Dunphy is great, and I'll be around if anything happens, anything catastrophic happens. I shouldn't say that this year, but Heather Dunphy will be running the show at the library. So, but I guess if nobody has anything else, then
Let me just add, I would
Yes.
commend both you and the staff for doing an excellent job in these, how many months has it been that we've been
almost
under
a year.
duress?
Thank you.
But you've been doing,
I'll second that. Thank you, Suzanne. That's great.
Third it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I guess if nobody has any extra comments, we can make a motion to adjourn, and we will meet again January 12th.
Okay, I move we adjourn.
That was
Second.
Maria.
Yeah.
Suzanne,
Suzanne second.